With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Underway from SoFi Stadium. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go now.
Now McNair off the play fake. He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's McNair. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Their job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now McNair. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right? I
think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. McNair to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, 39 yards. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fair catch. Made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Play action now, Vick. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Third and long for Vic. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. In motion, Hill. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Vic keeping on the option. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill. 37 yards. And the Bears are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
That appeared like any routine NFL quarterback, but it was Michael Vick from the pocket, throws a touchdown pass. I just think about the transformation throughout his career. From Atlanta, where he would take off and go at just about the drop of a hat and turn defenses into mush. And then by the end of his career in Philadelphia, where he completed passes like we just saw from the pocket, yet still had those great legs, when necessary, to help get him out of trouble.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. Well, this defense was victimized earlier in this opening quarter. This time, a measure of revenge.
Well, they always tell defenses you have to have a short memory. But I also think it helps if you remember what happens to you before, and now you're able to flip it around. They didn't want to show weakness and let this offense think they could do whatever they want. And they turned things around in that case and picked one off themselves.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
In motion left goes a tight end. 7-7, our score after one. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Again to Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef, that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
It's caught. Beckham. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. In motion, Hill. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Michael Vick scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Bears have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now McNair. And going deep for Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. McNair. Letting one go deep here for Gronk. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one past the